PHP? Can anyone of you tell me? What is the full form of the PHP? Probably many of you have worked with it and many of you have even developed the web pages using the PHP. Right. So if I'm not wrong, as a part of your internship, you might have worked with it. Right. So the very simplest question that I'm asking you is what is the full form of the PHP? So before we start with the concept, I want every one of you to know regarding the meaning of the PHP. Correct. So can anyone of you tell me what is the full form of the PHP? Earlier, it was termed as the personal home page. So currently, what it is termed as? So currently, does anyone of you know what is the full form of the PHP? It is either preprocessor hypertext or hypertext preprocessor. Okay, so you just have to know about this. If someone asked you, see, whenever you are going to face the interviews in your placements, so if you say that you have worked on the web development or else if you have worked on the PHP, so definitely it might be the one of the question that can be asked to you. So just as a knowledge, you should know what is the full form of the PHP. It is hypertext. I am not sure it. So either it is a hypertext preprocessor or the preprocessor hypertext. Okay. So let's get into the concepts of the PHP now. Just like the JavaScript, PHP is also the dynamically typed language. See, whatever the concept I'm going to discuss in today's class, probably few of the concepts I'm going to rush. Why? Because just like the statements like conditional statements or the variables, you might have studied with the other programming languages where the working of the each of these statements is going to remain same in PHP also. Right? But however, we are going to concentrate on the syntax that is being used here. So instead getting into know that how does the loop works, how does the for loop works, or how does the if condition works or the statement works, rather I'll concentrate on the syntax that has to be used in the PHP. Why? Because rest of the things, the inner logic or the how does the each of these concepts get executes when it is being used in the programming platform. So all of you are familiar with that part, right? So for that, I may be rushing with a few of the things, but even though if someone feels, any one of you feels like if you are not understood any part of the explanation, you can stop me there itself and then I can repeat the explanation or I'll just clarify your doubts over there. Okay. So just like the JavaScript, PHP is a dynamically typed language. So it also uses the classes and the functions the way how exactly it is used in the C++ or the Java. Correct. So the syntax for the for loops, conditional and assignment operator is identical to the JavaScript. So we also have seen these things with the JavaScript as well. So the syntax is a little bit identical, but the few notations are different as compared to the JavaScript over here. Okay. So how to begin with the writing a PHP file here, right? So for that, first you need to understand that the most important fact about PHP is that programming code can be embedded directly within an HTML, right? See, this thing you need to be very clear that there are the two possibilities, that the part of the program where you are writing it as a PHP, you might include the HTML elements also in between the PHP. And one more, the possibility is while creating the PHP, you can even include the PHP part within the HTML also, right? So the vice versa is acceptable over here, right? But the case is that whenever you include the PHP part either in the HTML or HTML within the PHP, you need to save that file with the .php extension here. Okay. So the programming code has to begin with this symbol. So this less than symbol followed by the question mark and followed by the PHP as a name, all in lowercase letters. So the beginning of the PHP part which you want to code over here, it has to begin with this tag, that is lesser than symbol question mark and PHP. And once you include the all the PHP coding, then you need to close to say that this is the end of the PHP part over here. So which is done with only the question mark and followed by the greater than symbol, right? So this is the first part. Right. See, one more thing you do remember here, or else you do get sense here that whenever you are including the PHP within the HTML part, it is not restricted that you can use only once the PHP coding within that. So you can use these PHP coding as many times wherever it is required within the HTML. But the one thing that you need to remember over here is whenever you are going to use, every time it has to begin with this tag, and every time it has to end with this tag. So this set of the tags of the PHP can be repeated as many times as it is required in the HTML. Okay, so the any code outside the tags is echoed directly out to the client. Suppose if you are going to use the PHP programming part outside these tags, probably you will not get the error, but everything that you are going to include as the programming that is going out of these tags, that is going to be directly displayed on the browser as a programming only. Okay. So now let's see a very simple example over here. So to get to know that whatever the things that I have discussed over here, how does it is going to look if you use it in the program here. Okay, so you can see here, you can see the both the HTML and the PHP together in this file here. Of course, it is acceptable, as I told you that you can use the PHP part within the HTML, or HTML also can be used within the PHP, but the syntax that has to be followed needs to be strictly abide here by the programmer. Okay, so you can see here, for the first thing, we have started with the one set of the PHP. As I told you, whenever you include any PHP statements, make sure that you include within these beginning of the PHP tag and closing of the THP tag, right? So what is this statement? This is nothing but the declaration of a variable here, right? So how you are going to declare the variable? You are going to declare the variable with a dollar symbol in the PHP here, followed by the name of the variable here. Correct. So dollar user is nothing but the user is a variable name that has to be used with the dollar symbol here, right? So what should be the type and everything we are going to discuss at the time of the variables discussion followed to this example, right? So meanwhile, you just understand here that the variables are the dynamically typed. So to this variable, the value that has been stored in this variable is the name Randy here. And in PHP, every executable statement has to end with the semicolon. Correct. So followed to that is the HTML that we have started, and within this you can see here, within the body we have taken a one heading element, within which we have taken a one text over here as a welcome. So follow to that, what we want to include over here is we just want to include the value that we have defined as the PHP here. So the one which we have used here, so that we want to take a part of the display on the browser here. So for that, as I told you, that you can also include the PHP within the HTML element also. So no matter wherever you use, one thing is for sure that you need to use with these sets of the tag to say it as the this is the PHP statement over here. Okay. So within that, again begin with the PHP, and the echo is a method that is used for the displaying some message on the browser, right? So as you do it in the as you do use the printf or the print in the Python, so the same way echo is the method that is used to print something on the screen, and that too in the browser by the PHP, right? So follow to that, what we are interested to print over here, we are interested here to print the value that has been stored in this variable. So that's why directly the variable name has been taken. So the executable statement of the PHP needs to be ended with the semicolon, and you need to close over here, and follow to that close the heading element here. So continue with the rest of the HTML part, and again whenever you require the any PHP part to be included, again begin with this question mark PHP with the lesser than symbol, and you can see here the three echo statements has been used. So within the echo you can see here, we have used again the HTML element here. So whenever you want the any HTML element to be executed as a part of the PHP, so that you can take it exactly the way how you use it in the HTML part, but make sure that if it is in the PHP, use it in the echo statement itself, but with the double quotation. Okay, so the double quotation needs to be mandatorily used on this HTML element along with the echo to say that this should be executed as a HTML element. So you need not to worry about how it is executed. So whenever you want to use the any HTML elements to be executed as a part of the result from the PHP side, so at that time you can just take the elements the way how you use it in the HTML, but make sure that you include it in the double quotation over here. Okay, so followed to that one more echo statement which has the date method used over here. So the date is a built-in method from the PHP which is going to get you the date and the time over here. Okay, so I am not going to discuss in detail about this date right now. So we are just only concentrating on the syntax, how it is used over here. Okay, so follow to that, we are going to close this strong element. So why? Because we want this particular part of the text to be applied with the strong, that is it has to appear in the bold. So when you feel that the everything that we want to make it as a bold has been completed, you can close it with again one more echo statement here, right? So since you have used the echo, all the statements he has to be terminated with the semicolon here, right? So follow to that, if you end with the PHP part, you can close that part and then follow to the closing of the rest of the HTML elements here. Okay, so let's see how we'll execute with one example over here. I'll just show you once that how you need to execute the PHP files here, so which is a little bit different as compared to the HTML part, right? So in the last class, I told you to install the XAMPP server, right? So how many of you have done it? So how many of you have installed the XAMPP, or else you can also tell if you have already installed it before itself, before the class itself. Okay, so I assume that you people have installed it. So if you have installed it, you might have installed it in one or the other folder over there. Okay, so it might be the in the any of the drives you might have installed it. So in my system, I have installed it in the C drive itself. So if you have installed in the any of these drives, probably there will be the one folder that has been automatically created with the name XAMPP here. So you can see here I have installed it in the C drive. It has created with the name folder as a XAMPP, and within that XAMPP there will be the one more folder known as the htdocs. Okay, so those you have installed, you can cross check with the steps that I have told you, and if you already know all this procedure, you can just ignore it. Okay, so I'm explaining these all things for the one who is executing the PHP files for the first time. Okay, so within the XAMPP there will be the one more folder known as the htdocs, and you just get into that docs, and I one two possibilities are there. Either you can directly save your files within this htdocs, or else I will recommend you to create a separate folder for the files that you are going to execute here. Suppose if you are working on the any project, make sure that you create the folder with that project, or else if you are just experimenting with the few examples, you make separate folder with the any specific name over there. So here I have created a folder known as the class programs, in which I am going to save all the files which I am going to demonstrate for the class. So you need to create a folder. It is recommended, not mandatory one. So you need to create a folder within which you can save the all the respective files, what you are going to type over there, right? So the editor that is being used for typing the PHP is the Sublime itself. Okay, so you need not have to use the any other editor. So the Sublime is also going to support the for the PHP. So the same example which I have discussed now, just now from this slide that I have typed over here. So while saving, as I told you, it is being saved in the folder just now where I have discussed it. Correct. So once I am going to save this file, it has to be saved with the .php extension. So do not get confused over here, though you might have the HTML part within it. So save it with the .php part. Suppose if you have included the PHP section within that program. Okay, so save the file, any file name with the dot extension as the .php. Okay. So to begin to run with the execution, first what you need to do is you need to go for the XAMPP control panel. So if you just type in the search, where if you have installed it in your system, it is going to give you the XAMPP control panel here. Okay, so click on that XAMPP control panel, and this window is going to be visible for you people. So if you have installed it, if you go for the XAMPP control panel option, this window is going to be given for you, right? So within this you can see here the Apache is the local server that we are going to use here in order to execute the PHP files, right? So what I need to do over here is I need to click on the start button. Okay, So once I click on the start button, either it will be showing the highlight that it is running, or else you can see at the last here that to show the status that status change detecting running. So that means the server is running now. So just minimize this window here and go to the browser, and within the browser you just have to type first only the localhost just to check whether the XAMPP server is running or not. So type the localhost in the address bar over here. It is searching over here, just a minute. Okay. So if you are typing only localhost and running it in the browser, so you should be able to see this window. So whatever the home page of the XAMPP is over there, that should be visible if the server is successfully running through your system. Correct. So once you do that, what you need to do here in order to execute the program is, so you already know that where your program is running. Correct. So you know the name of the folder where you have saved it. So just copy the that folder name over here, not the entire path, only the folder name in which you have saved the program. Okay. So here instead of the dashboard, so within the localhost, just paste that folder name over here and press enter. Okay. So once you do that, it is going to get you to that folder to show the all the files that you have typed within that. Right. So these are all the files that have typed within that folder, and the one which I have explained just now is the first.php. So this is the name of the file. In order to execute it, so either you can type the name of the file directly over here in the address bar, or else you can simply click on this first.php over here. Okay, so you can see here it is showing you the result whatever has been included within that. So as a part of the HTML heading, I have taken it as a welcome system B division, followed by the time that is being included over there. Okay, so this is the procedure that you need to follow in order to execute the PHP file. So I just told you the what are the steps that are involved in order to execute the files. Okay. So now this is the simple example that we have discussed, and the rest of the slides we are going to discuss the all the programming concepts in detail. Okay. So did you understood? I hope the procedure what I told you, the one who have not yet familiar with the platform, this XAMPP platform, you have noted down the steps over there. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so coming to the comments over here, so I need not have to tell you what is meant by the comment, isn't it? So you already know with the other programming language that why you require to use the comments in the any programming language, right? So as if the other programming languages, the PHP will also support the three types of the comments: the single line comments, multi-line comments, and the end of line comments here. So how to write the single line comments? That you can write it with a hash symbol. So you can begin with the hash symbol followed by the single line statement to say it as this is a comment line in the program. Correct. So if you have the more number of the lines to be included as a comments, you can begin with the this forwards slash followed by the star and followed by the any number of the statements that you want to include, and it has to end with the again star or the asterisk and followed by the backward slash over here. So this is how you can include the multi-line comment statements over here. Okay, so at the last the end of the line comments is if you have a short word to be included, instead of using the hash sorry, in front of the coding line, right? So suppose if you have written the any program or the statements and right in front of the executable statements, if you want to include the any comments just to tell that for what purpose you have written or else what that statement is going to do, so in that case you can begin writing with comment by using the double slashes over there, double forward slashes over there. So this is how you can write the comments. Here is an example you can see. So in the new line, if you want to write the any single line comment, you can write it with a hash symbol followed by the comment. And if you have the multiple lines of the comments to be included, you can start with the forward slash followed by the star and include the comment lines and end it in this way. And right in front of the executable statement, if you want to write any comment, so that has to be written not with the hash, it has to be written with the double forward slashes here. Okay, so this is the example that how you can use the comment lines in the PHP. So now coming to the variables, we'll see what are the variations with the variables, or how what is the notation that is used for declaring the variables. So already in the example, I told you that you have to use the dollar symbol in order to use the any variable, right? So dollar symbol followed by the name of the variable, and if you wish, you want to, you can assign the value. So it is the dynamically typed. As I told you, you need not have to specify the type of the variable here. So instead, you have to just take only the name of the variable followed by the value that you want to store. So depending upon the value that you are going to store into that variable, the variable is going to be considered of that type. For example, here you are saying saving the number, that means it is going to be considered as the number type, right? So variables are loosely typed. That is, once if you have stored a value in any variable, it doesn't mean that it is going to be fixed to that value. So in further programming, if you use the same variable by taking the different value in it, so it is also acceptable in the PHP. Okay. So what are the different data types that are being supported here? Boolean, integer, float, string, array, and the object. Okay. So we already know what these data types are. So the Boolean is the true or false value, integer is the whole numbers, float is a decimal number, string the letters or the characters, array data structure where you can store the series of the values in it in a sequential order, and object is nothing but the instance of the class. So these all are the data types that are being supported in the PHP. Okay, so now coming to the constants, right? So in the programming language, you will come across with the various situations that where you need to use the constant values in your program, which needs to be used without changing it in the rest of the program that you are going to write, right? So how you will be able to define that constant in this PHP, right? So that is done with the method known as a define. In as in C, you can simply do it with a hash constant value over there, but here in this PHP you need to separately take a method where you can specify the constant variables with a specific value over there. Okay, so typically defined near the top of the PHP file, and it has to be written in the beginning of the PHP file with the method or the function define here. Okay, so once it is defined, it cannot be referenced without using the dollar symbol. So every time wherever you are using that variable or the constant value, it has to be referred using the dollar symbol only. So let's see few examples here on this. So you can see here define is a method that is required here to say or to define the any constant values for the variables here, right? So how you can do that? This define method will take the two parameters here. The first parameter being the name of the constant variable, and second parameter will be the value that you want to store as a constant into that variable, right? So in all these examples, you can see here the first parameters are the name of the variables. For example, database underscore local is a variable, and similarly database underscore name and user and password. These all are the name of the variables. And what we want these variables to be fixed to the values is the value is in the form of a string here. Right. So the second parameter to this method is always the values that you want to store into the string in this variable here, correct? So in this database local, you are storing the local host as a constant value, and are stored as the constant value for the database name, and fed as the constant value to the database user variable, and this value is the constant password that you want to store in this variable there, right? So once you define them at the top of the PHP file, so these values are going to be constant, and how you can use them? So you can see here, uh, I think I told you it in a reverse order that, and so whenever in the earlier example you can see that whenever you have typed the any variable over here, so dollar user, isn't it? So in this case you are going to refer to that variable or the value within it using not only the user, so along with the dollar symbol you are using it, right? As in case with this constant, you are not supposed to use the dollar symbol over here, right? So how you have used it, you can see here, we are using this MySQLi method in order to get connected to the database here. Correct. So to this, you need to pass the all these parameters as the values over there, right? So simply what you need to take, you have to take only the variables as the parameters over here, that too without the dollar symbol. So database means it is always going to consider the value as a local host, and name means always art store followed by the Fred and the password over here. Right. So this is just an example to show you that how you can define the constants here. Right. So as a theory part of the question in the video question paper, you might be asked like explain the variables or the constants with respect to the PHP. In that case, you should be able to define the syntax over here, and you should be even able to explain it using the specific example. Okay. So now coming to the few output statements that you can use on this PHP. So one already have discussed with the first example that we have seen in this beginning of this class. So the name of the command that you usually use in the PHP for displaying anything on the screen is the echo here. Okay. So to output something that will be seen on the browser, you can use the echo function. And the way how it is used in the two formats here. So both are the right ways, and both of the syntaxes are acceptable. So the one is echo, and within the parenthesis you are going to specify the value that you want to display, that too within the double string, and it has to end with the semicolon, right? So another method over here is to the echo, simply you can take the value or the string within the double quotation that you want to display. So again it has to get terminated with the semicolon here. Correct. So regarding the concatenation, so as we have seen in the first example also, that whenever you require the any values to be concatenated that you have stored into the variable, you are going to concatenate, you might be having a requirement to concatenate that variable value to the some string as a part of the echo method over here. So how to do that? Using the dot notation, right? So in PHP, the concatenation between the two strings or the variable and the string is going to be done by using the period, that is the dot symbol, so as did in this example here, right? So you can see here dollar username is the name of the variable in which what has been stored, the value world has been stored in this variable here, right? So as a part of the echo method, you can see here I just want to print it as a hello followed by the whatever the value is there in this variable username, right? So in that case what needs to be done here, so take the string, actual string with that whatever you want to print within the double quotation, and if at all if you want to get concatenated with the any variables or the values in the variables, follow that string with the dot symbol and followed by the name of the variable, and it has to end with the semicolon. So this is going to print it as a hello world. So it is just going to concatenate the whatever the value that is stored in this variable to the first string over here. Okay. So again, there are the few examples that how best you can use the concatenation operators here. Okay. So let me check whether I have prepared any example over here. Okay. Okay. So you can see here what has been done in these two variables. We have stored the two values here as the first name and the last name over here. Okay. So let me explain directly with here only. Okay. So what has been done as a part of the first statement over here? So you can see here I have started with the PHP part only here, and we have terminated at the last, as all the statements that I have included is in the form of the either echo or the dollars. That means all the statements here are the PHP only. So in the first two statements, you can see here two variables has been taken as the first name and the last name, for which the certain values has been taken here. So within the echo, so you can see here, you just concentrate on the how the concatenation, different types of the concatenations has been used here. Okay, so just to this is not that much complicated program, or it is not going to give you the that much different the result over here, right? So just to make you familiar that how are the different ways that you can use in order to use the concatenation operations over here, right? So within the first echo statement, you can see here, the first part is the HTML element that we want to get executed on these values here, right? So as I told you earlier also, excuse me, as I told you earlier also, that whenever you want the any element, HTML element to be executed, you have to include it with the echo only, and that too the element needs to be included in the double quotation over here, right? So follow to that, what we have, we want this element to be applied, or you want to take the value stored in this variable or after the this HTML element to be executed, right? So since it is also considered as a string, it has to concatenate with the dot operator here, followed by the value whatever you want to apply here, right? So in the next case, what we want is, we want to just leave a space between these two values here. So once again, one of the possible way is, you can just include the space within the double quotation, and since again it is a string over here and these two are the variables, you need to use the concatenation operator to get to get concatenate with this variable to the space, and again to this space to the this variable here, right? So follow to that, you know that you have used the one of the HTML element here, you need to close it. So that is again done, again one more concatenation operator, that is dot followed by the closing element of the em within the double quotation here, and close that, right? So this is the one way, right? So the same thing has been done one more time here. So here we have used every time separately double quotation for the each of the terms in the echo here, right? So the same statement what we have done here, it can be written in this way also. Both are correct. I'm not saying that the one of them is correct. The both the ways are correct here, right? So within the single double quotation, you can start including here, but without using the any dot operator here. So what can be done here? You can simply leave this space as it is. Right? So within the single quotation, begin with the HTML element, followed by the space, followed by the variable name, followed by the space, followed by the variable name, space, and then close it. So this is also the correct way of using the echo statement here, right? So in the second example, you can see here what has been done here. The again the execution of the HTML statement has been taken here, right? So one of the statement, you can see here the double quotation is used, and in another statement the single quotes are used here. So again the both the echo statements are the right way of using. So what is why this example has been given here is, so whenever you are using the echo statement, you can print it using either the double quotation or the single quote. So both are acceptable here, right? So in the next example, one thing that you can concentrate here, suppose if we use the single quotes, probably there is no problem whenever you are using the any HTML element. So in HTML elements, in any of the cases, you require the backslash to be used as it is over here, or else the double quotation needs to be used once again over here, right? So in that case, whenever you are using the single quotes, it is not going to cause you any problem. For example, in this case, you can see here img element has been used, followed by the attribute source, which has the double quotation here. So this double quotation is not the part of the echo statement. Instead, this double quotation is the part of the source attribute, for which you want to specify the file which needs to be applied as the image over here, correct? And it has to end with the again double quotation only. So this entire thing you can include using the single quote for the echo, which is acceptable here, right? Suppose if you use the double quotes in between, also you come across with the double quotes here. So in that case, what you need to concentrate here, so this double quote is not meant for the echo statement. So as did in this earlier case, where you can see the double quotes, how it is going to be treated by the echo here. But here you genuinely don't want this double quotes to be considered as a part of the echo statement. Instead, it is only for the HTML section where you want to consider that for the value to be specified for the source attribute here. So in that case, how you need to do that? So leave the double quote as it is, which is applicable for the echo, and rest of the double quotes which is not meant for the echo, that has to be preceded with this backward slash here. Correct. So wherever you come across with the double quotes which is not applicable for the echo, in case if you have used the double quotes for the echo only, right, so in that case you need to make sure that the rest of the double quotes which is meant for the HTML elements, that needs to be preceded with the backward slash here. So in case if you have used the single quotes, the you need not have to worry, it is going to consider the any double quotes will be the part of the HTML element only. Okay, so these are the few possibilities or the few different ways that you can use for writing the PHP statements over here. Okay, so do I need to show you the execution? So already I hope the screen is visible for you people. If anything is not visible, then let me know. Okay, so I will be assuming that everything is visible for you. So I'll be continuing over here. Okay, so is this visible to you? Yes or no? Say something.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am. Okay. So if I click on that example, which is the just now which I have explained here. So if I click on it, so you can see here probably it is giving you the correct result here. Correct. So the two images is for the result of the two ways how you can use the echo statements with the single quote and the double quotes. Right. So this example has been just demonstrated to show you that what happens if you are going to use the double quote for the echo and the single quote over here. Okay. Right. So coming to the further things here, these are the few string escape characters, the line feed, horizontal tab. So whenever you want to use for the line feed, that is for the next line, you can go for using the slash n. And if you want to use the more number of the space, if you use only space bar, it is going to get you one space. And if you use the slash t, it is going to get you the more number of the spaces to be left. And the backslash and the dollar sign. See, why it has been taken over here is if you want to include this backslash as a part of the printing only, if you want to print the backslash only, and if you directly take only single backslash as a part of the echo, probably that is not going to be printed. Why? As I told you in earlier case, why the backslash is being used here. Correct. So here in this case, in order to treat this double quotation as a part of the source, you are using this backslash, and this is not going to be printed on the screen. Suppose in case if you want to print that backslash itself, again it has to be preceded with the one more backslash here, right? So in the same way, whenever you want to, you know why the dollar symbol is used in the PHP. Dollar is used for declaring the variables, and double quote is also used, right? So whenever you want to them to be treated with the exactly the dollar or the double quotation itself, again these two things has to be preceded again with the backslash only. Okay. So follow to that, along with the echo, you can also use the printf statements here, right? So you can also use the printf statement. So how to use it? The name of the keyword here for printf is the printf all in the lowercase here, right? So how it needs to be used? Again, it has to be used with the format specifiers, right? So I hope you know what is the format specifier. So as you did in this echo, where you are going to directly take the uh, value variable name itself, which is going to fetch whatever the value that you have specified, right? So the printf is not going to cannot be used in the same way. So the exactly the way how you use it in a C programming language, in the same way you can go for using the printf statements. Correct. So you need to specify the format specifier. Suppose if you want to fetch the values that has been stored in the any variables here. Correct. So the first one is the string value, for which you are going to take it as a percentage s, and the second one is the floating value, for which you can take it as a percentage point 2f, to specify how much decimal 2 is given here to specify how much decimal points that you want to take over here, right? So there in C it is taken as the format specifier. In this they are termed as the placeholders and the precision specifier over here, right? So how you are going to print it? Take this statement whatever you want to print and include the specific value, that is in case of the number probably it is for the percentage I or the percentage n. In case of the string it is percentage s and percentage f for the float values, right? So you are going to take in this way, and to fill this value, after completing the statement, after completing the double quotation, include the comma, and followed by there you need to take the variable names to get fill the value over here. So for example, first if it is a percentages, make sure that the variable which contains this value, and that has to be taken in the same order here. So in the second case you have the float value which has been stored in the weight, dollar weight, and that has to be taken in the same order. So the order of the format specifier needs to be the same even with the variable names here, right? So the variable name should be taken with the dollar symbol only. So you cannot take only the product or the weight over here. So it has to be taken as the dollar product comma dollar weight. And so this is going to get printed as the box is. So the box in the sense, the after it is going to fetch the value that has been stored in the product, that is box is, followed by the value that has been stored in this variable, that is this 1.57 pounds. Okay, so this is what is displayed over here. Okay, so coming to the further concepts, we'll have this discussion in the next class. Okay, so does anyone of you have any doubts that we have so far discussed? Does anyone of you have any doubts that we have so far discussed?